Alright guys, I'm back with my vlogs here. I'm going to be focusing on fat loss. I want to bring to you guys today are my three biggest keys or tools for fat loss. Um, I believe they're a must. So the first point I want to cover, um, obviously I'm trying to address general public people that, they don't have a very well structured diet, but this applies to people that are regimented with their diet as well. Um, First thing I would recommend is clean up your diet. What does that mean? The first thing is to establish meal timing. Obviously, make sure you're eating every 3 hours to, let's assume someone's weight training, so to help them synthesize protein and rebuild and repair muscle. And avoid fast food and any sort of processed foods altogether. The best way you're doing that is to get a grocery list together and buy your own foods and take 1, 2, maybe 3 nights a week to prepare your meals in advance. This is something I want to cover in future videos. Meal prepping is essential because you're getting out, you're going to work, and you're going to end up making bad decisions. If you go over the second, third, fourth hour, at least for me, I get starved, and that's when I tend to make bad decisions. So having the meals right there, if it's ready to go, chances are you're going to eat it, and that's going to keep you on track. Fat loss is a lot different than trying to gain muscle. You're trying to watch every single macronutrient, the amounts, the portion size, how often you're eating, so that you're facilitating fat loss, but you're not burning muscle as energy. That's step number one. So what are we doing? Establishing a meal timing. So eat every 3 hours. Clean up your diet. No more eating out. Do the best you can, and cook your meals in advance. I will be making a video about that in the future, helping you guys. It's a lot easier than you think. Cooking your meals, as I'm making one meal, I can make 2 or 3 at the same time. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. You just have to be wise with the time that you're spending. Cleaning up, it's another story. And then number 2 would be add more exercise. Okay, let's say you're not training at all, you don't work out. Just by introducing some weight training, 3-4 times a week, you're giving your body a reason to change. So you got those calories being spent, and then they accumulate over the course of those 7 days. So if you're doing that for a month, you should start seeing some great results. That's where most people fall short. You start a workout regimen, you do very well for 2 to 3 days. That's right around the time your body's starting to recognize what you're doing, and that's when the benefits will come, and that's when most people stop. So let's say you already weight train 3 or 4 times a week. Try and add some cardio in. Start with 15 minutes. Pulse training. The best time to do cardio, in my opinion, with what I've experienced in the past years, is either doing a pulse workout or doing it first thing in the morning. But if you're trying to get in really, really, really great condition, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach has worked very well for me. To drop excess water, your growth hormone levels are higher in the morning, so your ability to burn fat, even though some research out there may not agree with this, just apply it, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you're already doing cardio, try adding some more. Add an extra 10 minutes, an extra 20 minutes. And those calories, they will add up over the course of weeks, and you will see results as long as you're being consistent with your training. Another thing, people want to lose weight, they want to drop body fat, and trying to keep muscle at the same time is hard, but the diet's not there. If they don't have an idea of how many calories they're putting in, carbs, protein, very tough. That's my recommendation on the training, making sure that you're doing the best that you can to stay consistent with the training as you're doing with the diet. And number 3 would be carb cycling. And if you're not familiar with carb cycling, make sure you check out my video. I'll put a link right here. I did a video on carb cycling that you should find helpful. Carb cycling. The fastest way to drop weight per se, or fat, would be to eat zero carbs. But then that's not something you want to do long term. It depends. Someone is have excess amounts of body fat, around the waist. You can tell that they're being insulin resistant. Maybe you want to try and restore that, increase the sensitivity. Uh, the best way would be to avoid carbs altogether, or maybe have a pulse training only. But you have to remember carbs are a source of energy. So if you weight train, if you try and preserve muscle and build and have the necessary energy to go through these hard workouts, it's going to be tough without carbs. You need them. You just have to be wise with the timing of when to have them. So if you're preparing for an event or a wedding or a trip or something like that, yeah, zero carbs, still having those meals time every 3 hours, it's a necessity, but you're going to have to be very wise about the amount of fiber and protein in those meals to make sure that you're full for long enough. And I would consider upping the protein a little bit. So you want to go low carb, you don't want to go low calorie, because if your calories are too low, you're going to lose some muscle for sure, and your metabolism is going to shift in a way that you don't want it to. Yeah, so the meals, I mean, for me, I've always done really well on high fat. A typical breakfast on a zero carb day would be like 2 whole eggs, a cup of egg whites, and some avocado or something like that. High fat, high protein. It depends on how many grams of fat I'm going to be eating for the day. A different meal would be maybe 8 to 10 ounces of grilled chicken, 2 cups of broccoli. Enough fiber to keep you full for long enough, and a lot of salads, spinach, cucumbers to try and stay, as full as possible. That pretty much covers it. So what do we go through? Clean up your diet, start cooking your own meals, avoid processed foods at all costs. Those are critical. That's step number 1. Step number 2, add exercise. If you're already training, start doing cardio pulse training. If you're not weight training, you're missing a ball here. Weight training is going to create muscle, which is metabolic active tissue. It's going to burn calories. It doesn't matter if you're not trying to look huge. That's not the point. It's going to make your body more efficient. It's going to make your body work for you. Cardio pulse training. Gradually increasing the amount of cardio you're doing. And number 3, obviously carb cycling. I've referred to my last video. It's something, if you want to go zero carb, you don't want to do it long term. Short term is the key. And, trying to increase your body's insulin sensitivity to burn fat and to build muscle is what we're all trying to do. If you're looking for more tips, go to reasonablecoaching.com. There's great options to help some of you guys out there looking to get into some serious training. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. There'll be a lot more videos like this coming up.